seemingly run out for Nicolas Jackson, and myself and a lot of others are more so disappointed, I think. We're sad, we're disappointed. It seemed as though at the start it was all going so well and that we may have found someone, albeit we knew he wasn't really a designated striker. Time has run out. Time has seemingly run out, and everyone now, especially since the game against Newcastle with the red card, it seems as though that even Jackson's biggest supporters or biggest defenders, myself included, I have tried and tried, and I have defended him as much as one could possibly do, and justifying the poor performances, the lack of numbers, the lack of sort of input into his game by game sort of situation, I think, that he's found himself in. It's just not good enough. And in the last few days, we've had a lot of sort of debates online from people. You've seen a lot of threads. You've seen a lot of insinuation that it does seem as though we're going to be going with an alternative striker, I guess, in the future, whether that is Gyökeres or Liam Delap or Osimhen or whoever it is that you are opting for. I think everyone has their opinions on who is the right person, but this video is more specifically going to focus on Nicolas Jackson as a whole. And of course, who, in my mind, is the right fit going forward. And I've already made a video on that in the past, not too long ago. My man that I'm going for is someone who I believe is as a Premier League proven striker at this point. He's had a very good season, and whilst a lot of people seem to be aiming their efforts and their enthusiasm and their, I don't know, who they think is the man to go for, being Victor Osimhen. For me, listen, I was having this back and forth on Twitter yesterday where it became like a big topic once again. Victor Osimhen coming in and being the man to sort out the situation up top. And I, for one, I'm not denying his ability. I just personally believe that there are way too many cons to the pros. And I've had a lot of people come back at me and say that my argument isn't it's not down to the capabilities, the output, the numbers that Victor Osimhen is producing. My thing is more so based on a thought, a worry, a concern, in that we have shelled out millions and millions and millions and millions upon millions of pounds and huge contracts, albeit a lot of the players that we have signed, they're on long contracts rather than, it's lucrative because it's long. It's not so much that players are on like stupid wages. Obviously, our highest paid player at Chelsea is Reece James. And then it's Sterling and Wesley Fofana and Christopher Nkunku. And I mean, Wesley Fofana and Christopher Nkunku, both players that are likely to be leaving soon. But the point I'm trying to make is a player like Osimhen, who has an agent that the way he does, we've had issues in the past where agents have had too much input or they cause issues. And the reason it didn't work out for Osimhen in the first place coming to the club, when he should have in the first place, and everyone was excited for it, and there was all these expectations, and it didn't pan out. Not only is that a big issue for me, He's also demanding huge wages, which a lot of people are denying. I've mentioned the wages before, and people are saying, wow, it's not necessarily concrete that we'd be paying that amount of wage. Listen, the whole point he didn't come in the first fucking place is because he wants more money than we were offering. And I think we how old is he, for Christ's sake? I just want a player who is Premier League proven. He's 26 years old. I just want a player that is Premier League proven, that isn't someone who we are just like breaking the bank over. And I know a lot of people seem to correlate like expensive players with quality, and if the board are serious, we should be going for like the best of the best. There is a player who is one of the best at the moment in terms of form. I've spoken about Mateta in the past. I think he's an exceptional talent, 27 years old, and absolutely fits the profile of a striker that we need in our style of play. I think he'd be a whole lot less money overall and a whole lot less of an issue than a player like Osimhen, who comes with all the baggage that is been discussed so many times. But back to Jackson, you look at he's scored, how many goals has he scored? 10 goals, 5 assists. That's 15 GA, which again, you look at Mateta, 14 goals, 2 assists. That's only one more GA than Jackson, but he's playing for Palace. It's a completely different situation, but he's had impact. He's had huge impact for his club this season. For Jackson, he's scored 1 goal in the last 15 games, and I know he's been out injured, but that doesn't matter for the most part, realistically. He scored 1 goal and 2 assists in those 15 games. 4 cards, including 1 red card in that time. His goals this season have come against Everton, Brentford, Aston Villa, Leicester, Newcastle and Liverpool. Fair enough. 2 against West Ham, Crystal Palace and Wolves. But it's just not good enough. And above all, not above all else, but going back to the card situation, his discipline is so bad. It's so bad, and it's such an issue, and it all culminated in the red cards, and was just the biggest sort of full stop, the biggest period on his career at Chelsea. For me, it is over. It is over. Time is up. We need to focus on a designated striker. And I know he's only 23. I know he's only 23 years of age. But for me, I don't see him being a backup. I don't think he's that guy. I just don't see. I think he'd be a great backup. I just don't think in his head mentally that he would be okay with being a backup to an Osimhen or to whoever. For me, it's over. I've lost all interest. I've lost all ability to sort of back him at this point. The red cards, whilst we do have a serious chance to get two more wins, it's left us in a serious position here where, and I've had people comment saying, you can't blame Jackson for it all. We weren't doing great before the first goal. Anyway, I mean, they conceded in fucking 2 minutes anyway. But then you look at the response, and it's we weren't great after they scored either, and Jackson this and I'm like dogpiling on Jackson. It's not the case. It's not the case. Factually, we would have been better off with 11 men in the second half because of the way we came out in the second half. The way we set up, the way we played was brilliant. In comparison to the first half anyway. And it just massively lowered our chances. And for me, above everything else, he's a liability. His discipline is absolutely terrible. It's not the first time he's caused issues for us with his discipline, and I just think there are players that are better suited. Whether that is Osimhen. If we get Osimhen and it fucking works out, well, you know, I'm going to be fucking happy, aren't I? I'm going to be happy. But I just think there's so much risk. We've failed with strikers so much in the past, you know, shelling out for big names that it's just not worked. And obviously I'm saying Gyökeres, cool, you know. Liam Delap's not really the guy for me anymore, I don't think. And he's got interest in Man United at this point. If they get Champions League, that's where he's going. Let's just call it what it is. But for me, Jean-Philippe Mateta is the guy that I want us to focus on. And there is nothing to suggest that he's even on our radar, to be completely honest with you. So I think it's a bit of a non-starter as of right now. But if there is interest, obviously I'll be the first to let you know. And I'll be covering that over the summer. I'm going to be doing Transfer Daily every single day for the second period of the transfer window from June 16th until deadline day. I think deadline day is now being redone until it closes at 7 p.m. on the 1st or the 2nd of September. I think it's the 1st of September, but we'll be doing a big stream for that as well. But join me every single day, weekdays at 6 p.m., weekends at 3 p.m. For a minimum of half an hour every day. And it could be an hour, it could be an hour and a half sometimes if it's all kicking off. But I will call it what it is. I'll bring you everything that you need in terms of news, information, transfer, speculation, all that good stuff. All that good stuff. I'll be covering it over the entire summer. With that said, let me know your thoughts on this situation. Who do you think we should sign in the summer? Do you think Jackson is the man we should go with in the future? I want to know what you need to say. Please like the video, subscribe, hit the bell notification to be notified of any future content on the channel. With that said, my name is Harry. As always, I'm at Chelsea and peace.